Where are you at?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I'm in Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what about you?
Santa Monica, California.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Greenwich, Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, what about you?
Good morning, Kempo. Good morning, everyone.
Morning, how are you?
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Good morning, Kempo. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Excuse me.
Good, thank you.
Salu.
Thank you.
Good morning, Kempo. For some reason, my camera is not working this morning.
Okay. Excuse me. Did you get the new Wondro text? Or are you using the...
I'm about to send it, Kempola.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Hi, Linda. How are you? Good morning. Hi, Jason. Yeshi. Chitso. Hi, Brandon.
Morning, Rinpoche.
Morning. Morning. So, Lindsay is sending you the link for the new text, so everything is inside one text. So. Did you send, Lindsay?
Yes, I sent in the chat so far, but I'll work on the email as well.
Okay. There will be slight different chanting, so if you can download that, we'll wait for a while everybody gets that new text. The old one had 100 pages, but now this one has about 135, so 35 pages extra. So please download the new text that Lindsay just sent you, the link.
So when I'm clicking on the file, it's asking me whether I want Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, Bowbox, Microsoft SharePoint, or my computer. I click my computer, it doesn't do anything.
I think just because this file is a little bit bigger, so it wants you to use like a third party to download the thing. So
Do you have Google Drive?
I don't know.
Do you have a Google account, like a Gmail account?
Yes, I do.
Okay, then maybe try Google Drive.
did that link work directly to open, or does it ask for permission, Lindsay?
It directly opened.
Okay.
I never use this account.
Okay. So first, it's the same thing. First is disturbing the slumber of ignorance. So think. Then Guru Rinpoche, along with Dakas and Dakinis, wake you up to this wonderful environment that you feel inspired to wake up rather than lay lazy in the bed. So with this song. Ke mai ke hu kalden rike bo mare te mo wange manem Zindru ngarke dantai yarlong dong tome dune danai tuke mare wange nilyuen de choinge dane manel gosum gela ke ga na che dung mi she sam de re zam ya dong be gong ga me drum la chen ru ke be de la ba da re che bo ten de drum den nyom le ngang la he de be de ma yin che wa som la dru pa tha ru Tsela long me che ken sa me cha de tse me tsere ding she ma tong. Ke boi ke ni sembe che che rong che nam da me tong shen che dang. Ju mai me ju me lam zu nen dang che ze dong kare da cha ta bur. Chundai chuburu migyoro chumbai so shejai jume pechu dejen konde chenam kege shembarege chenam ranjen kewa neme game dron memba o me tsema mechen samjen Tende tombara jawe de la ba. Namo Guru Bhe, Namo Deva Bhe, Namo Dhaki Bhe. Back to the beginning of disturbing the sleep of ignorance. O alas, alas, fortunate child of Buddha nature, do not be oppressed by the forces of ignorance and delusion, but rise up now with resolve and courage. Entranced by ignorance from beginningless time until now, you have had more than enough time to sleep, so do not slumber any longer, but strive after virtue with body, speech, and mind. Are you oblivious to the sufferings of birth, old age, sickness, and death? There is no guarantee that you'll survive even past this very day. The time has come for you to develop perseverance in your practice, for at this singular opportunity you could attain the everlasting bliss of Buddhahood. So now is certainly not the time to sit idly, but starting with the reflection on death, you should bring your practice to completion. The moments of our life are not expendable, and the possible circumstances of death are beyond imagination. If you do not achieve an undaunted confident security now, what point is there for you being alive, O fortunate being? All phenomena are ultimately selfless, empty, and free from conceptual elaboration. In their dynamic, they resemble an illusion, mirage, dream, or reflected image. A Gandharva city, an echo, a reflection of the moon in water. A bubble, an optical illusion, or an intangible emanation. You should know that all things of cyclic existence and nirvana accord in nature with these 10 similes of illusory phenomena. All phenomena are naturally unborn. They neither abide nor cease, neither come nor go. They are without objective referent or characteristics, ineffable and free from thought. The time has come for these truths to be realized. Homage to the Guru, homage to the Idam, homage to the Dakini. Namo Guru Bhe, Namo Deva Bhe, Namo Daki Bhe. And then now, expelling the stale breath, the stale wind from your body. Now through both your nostrils, breathe in. Visualize both the channels inserted in your central channel, then breathe out. You breathe out through both your nostrils, but you visualize leaving through the middle of your brows. Again, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, and breathe in. Breathe out. Then breathe in. And fill your belly for a little bit, and then hold till you feel uncomfortable. And let go. Again, breathe out. And then rub your thighs forward like that. The back of your hands. Like that. Then you can rest your hands here on top of your knees like that. This is the Longchen bus. It's famous posture, resting at ease. Something else that's resting at ease in the nature of mind like that. So you can sometimes have your hands here or here like that, or here. So as less movement as possible like that. Okay. And the blessing of speech, you have to go to page 3, unfortunately. The mind training text starts on 101, so just you know the mark. It's 101. And now the Ngandro begins. So the blessing speech is on page 3. Om. Fire rising from Ram syllable consumes my tongue, transforming it into a 3-pronged Vajra of red light. In its center are the vowels and consonants surrounded by the mantra, the essence of interdependent origination. From these syllables, like a string of pearls, light rays stream out, making offerings to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, pleasing them. As these rays return, all obscurations of my speech are purified, and I receive all the blessings and siddhis of Vajra speech. A a I I U R R L L A I O A Nga. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya wa data deshan jayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha. A a I U R R L L A I O A Nga ha ka ka ga ga nga cha cha ja ja na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba. Yara lawa shasa saha cha om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya wa data. Deshan chayo nirhoda evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I U R R L L A I O A Nga ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya wa data deshan jayo nirodha. Evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I U R R L L A I O A Nga ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava hetun deshan tata gato haya wa data deshan jayo nirodha. Evam vadi mahashramana swaha a I U R R L L A I O A Nga ha. Ka ka ga ga nga cha 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 na ta ta da da na ta ta da da na pa pa ba ba ma ya ra la wa sha sa sa ha cha. Om ye dharma hetu prabhava Hetunde Shantata Gato Hayawada Te Shanchayo Niroda Evam Vadi Mahasharmana Swaha A E O Re Re Le Le E I O Awangaha Kaka Kaganga Chacha Jajana Tata Dhadana Tata Dhadana Papa Baba Mayara Lawasha Sasahacha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetunde Shantata Gato Hayawada Te Shanchayo Niroda Evam Vade Mahashamana Swaha A E O Re Re Le Le E I O Angaha Kaka Ganga Chacha Jajana Tata Dhadana Tata Dhadana Papa Bhabama Yara Lava Shasa Sahacha Om Ye Dharma Hetu Prabhava Hetunte Shantata Gato Hayavadata Teshanchayo Niroda Evam Vade Mahashamana Swaha. Something like that. And calling the Lama from afar. Page 13. So bring forth the motivation. The motivation is somewhere down here in the last page written. There is one word. It's on page 116. Page 116. So that you know. So I shall meditate on the difficulty of finding the freedoms and advantages. This can be changed for different occasion or different part of our mind training like that. So I shall meditate on the preliminaries of the heart essence of the vast expanse, so that all sentient beings can be free from suffering and its causes and attain perfect Buddhahood. So that's how you need to think like that. This one has that twofold aiming through great compassion to bring the end of suffering, and then aiming through wisdom to bring all sentient beings to the state of perfect Buddhahood. So you have to have that. If you don't have either of those, then your compassion or your practice just becomes ordinary. If you don't have a skillful method, or if you don't have that one, then it lacks skillful method like that. If you don't have the other, then it becomes just ordinary like that. Lama ke Lama ke Lama ke Niwende pege sarashe pane Chauche drenche lama yara la jeng Le Daniel mo da bezer wai ke wai ngem ba da la cho bejer Children de che quale gendo sho dendai she je kun cha shen so O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. O Lama, please think of me. From the blossoming lotus of devotion at the center of my heart, arise, O kind Lama, my only refuge, in order to protect me, the miserable unfortunate one, who is overwhelmingly tormented by karma and mental afflictions. I pray that you remain as the jewel ornament on the crown chakra of great bliss, arousing all of my mindfulness and awareness. Page 14. Dusum sangye tham jege ngo kuje dane palden lama damba la sewa hende so tala wanguro jenge labdo sa sablam ge tobai ke barajen julai ke wara jenge labdo sa Kadai ne loke tawa tombara jenge labdosa. Tundro nanje yeshe tarjembara jenge labdosa. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. I fervently supplicate to the glorious sacred Lama, the essence of all of the Buddhas of the three times, the embodiment of the four kayas. I pray that you grant me blessings and empowerments. I pray that you bless me so that the extraordinary realization of the profound path arises in me. I pray that you bless me to realize the view of the primordial purity of the abiding nature. I pray that you bless me to perfect the wisdom of the four visions of spontaneous presence. So during 100-day retreat, you from here, you actually do the mind training at this particular point here. And you have only these few lines to read. So in our case, for the first 12 days, we would be just reading this, page 17, and on to this one, we jump. Just the four, yeah, just 4 lines of page 17. That's all we will do. And then to do that one, we supplicate to the Guru, and then we merge the wisdom. So as we supplicate to the Guru, then we receive the 4 empowerments like very quickly, not like the way that we are doing through the words that we supplicate, and then the minds of one's mind and the wisdom mind of Guru merges inseparably. And that in that, then as you merge in that state, and then you do, there are a few recitations that I've included here. You do that, and then immediately you do the mind training. So the first 2 hours are the analytical and then the placement meditation. The third hour, meaning the third section of the session, is the accumulation of the refuge, and depending on whichever mind training section you will be, or you are, you'll be doing that, and then you conclude the mantra recitation. So I did the other way because many of you have to leave before we all close the session. So that's kind of conducive in our case, or in our situation here. So that, and the other thing is that if you don't do it in this way, then you have very limited time for your accumulation, because you'd be spending 2/3 of your session in just analytical meditation and placement meditation. And then the last third of your session, then you have very few moments to accumulate your accumulations, and then read all what is left in order to close the session. So it's not really feasible for us at this time. So we will carry on doing that, but also at the same time, we'll learn how it is done. So for now, we have the text there, but okay, we go on from page 17. We'll do just the old style. Now I am free from the hell, preta, or animal realms, long-living gods born in barbaric land, or being a wrong view holder, born in a period when Buddha has not appeared, or being mentally dumb. I have obtained freedom from these 8 unfreed states. So when you say that, then there you would stop, and then you go add all of the other additional prayers that is behind there in the Ngondro text. You do that, then you bring or you recollect your Lama, and then supplicate, and then merge the wisdom mind of the Guru together with yours. That's the essential way of receiving the 4 empowerments, and then merging in awareness and emptiness. And then you'd further, there are a few recitations of different part, like 4 lines for fortunate human birth, 4 lines for the impermanence of life, and 4 lines for the defects of cyclic existence or infallible cause and effect, and then the defects of cyclic existence, like that. And then there are also the supplications in there. You do that. And then if you're doing like what we started yesterday, we were on the specific endowments or the specific advantages, the particular advantages of this fortunate human birth. There are the 5 endowments dependent on you, dependent, and then 5 dependent on others. Then these lines till, oh Lama, think of me, that is where we would do that. Okay, read that 5th line forward. Born a human being with all my senses intact and in a center land, with a lifestyle not harmful or wrong, and with faith in the Buddha's teachings. These 5 personal endowments are complete. A Buddha has appeared, has taught the Dharma. It is existing. I follow it, and a sublime teacher has accepted me. I have thus the 5 circumstantial endowments. Although I am in a position where I have every one of them, once this life so fraught in uncertainty is relinquished, I will go on to yet another realm of existence. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Like that. So to that portion, you'll be doing this, what we are doing now. So special qualities or advantages, like that. You'd spend another, we did one yesterday, so we'd be spending 11 days more on that one. So including today would be 11, including yesterday and so on would be 12 days, so like that. And then this recitation reflecting on the difficulty of obtaining a fortunate human birth, its cause and so on and so forth. Then one day and so forth, it will go on. Okay, page 19. If I do not use the opportunity this present freedom offers, I will not find such a basis for attaining liberation later on. Once the merit that provided this happy existence is exhausted, I will wander after death as an unfortunate being in the miserable realms. Not knowing virtue from non-virtue, I'll never hear a word of Dharma, nor meet a spiritual teacher, a terrible disaster. If we reflect on the numbers and kinds of sentient beings, we understand just how slim is the chance of gaining a human body. When we see even human beings devoid of Dharma engaging in negativity, we realize those who act according to Dharma are just like the daytime star. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Even though it is like reaching a jewel island attaining this human body, a fickle and impetuous mind in such a promising basis makes it an unsuitable support for attaining liberation, especially when possessed by negative influences or with the 5 poisons raging inside, or when negative karma befalls me, or I am distracted by laziness, or when a slave under someone else's control, or turning to Dharma simply out of insecurity or fear, or merely pretending to practice, or when deluded and stupid. These are the 8 intrusive circumstances that make Dharma impossible. When these come upon me opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Lacking both revulsion and the jewel of devotion, caught in the bond of desire and cravings, or with crude degenerate behavior, never holding back from negative harmful actions and engaging in the 5 inexpiable acts, with vows completely broken and samaya torn to shreds. These are the 8 propensities where mind is cut off from the Dharma. When this come upon me opposing my Dharma practice, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. At this moment, I am not inflicted by sickness or pain, nor am I a slave or such under another's control. So now when I have this perfect auspicious quality of total independence, if I waste the freedom of this human life through my own indolence, not to mention parting from my companions, possessions, relatives, and loved ones, even this body that I hold so dear will be carried out alone from its bed to its some desolate spots, to be torn to pieces by foxes, vultures, and dogs. Then in the bardo there will be even greater terror. O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. The results of virtuous and non-virtuous actions will follow accordingly, especially if I am born in the hell realms. On a ground of burning iron, my head and body will be hacked with weapons. I will be ripped apart with saws and crushed with red-hot hammers. Trapped in a doorless iron cell, screaming out loud, I'll be impaled on red-hot spikes, boiled in molten lava, and burned in a fire of intense heat in these 8 classifications of the hot hells. On the crests of snow mountains, on precipices of ice, terrifying places engulfed by squalls and blizzards of snow, my tender body, lashed by freezing winds, will break out in blisters, bursting open into festering sores, in a ceaseless wail of agonized scream, and suffering difficult to even think about, like a sick person at death whose strength is completely gone. I'll let out deep gasps and groans, my teeth clench, my skin cracking open, and my exposed raw flesh will split deeper and will split yet again in this 8 classification of the cold hells. Similarly, my feet will be sliced into ribbons on the plane of razors. In the forest of swords, my body will be gashed and chopped. I will sink in the swamp of petrifying corpses and the pit of hot embers, tormenting in the changing hell, in the hell neighboring the ultimate torment. Born indoors, pillars, fireplaces, ropes, and the like, always made use of and exploited in the ephemeral hells. When thoughts of intense hatred and aggression arise, which are the causes of being born in any of the 18 hells, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Likewise, in the grim and destitute realm, where the words food, drink, or comfort have never been heard, the pretas find nothing to eat or drink for months and years on end. Their bodies are emaciated and they lack even the strength to stand. They suffer from 3 different kinds of obscurations. The reason for being born in such a birth is greed, in constant dread of being killed and eaten by one another, exploited and worked until exhaustion, bewildered as what to do or not to do, when animals are oppressed by limitless suffering. The seed of which is stubborn stupidity. When I wander into this darkness, O Guru Rinpoche, think of me, turn my mind towards the Dharma. Omniscient Lord, keep me from straying onto wrong or inferior paths. O kind Lama, you who are not separate from them, think of me. Though I have entered the path of Dharma, I haven't put a stop to my mistaken behavior. Though I have entered the door of the Mahayana, I am devoid of any benefiting thought for others. Though I have received the 4 empowerments, I do not practice the generation and completion stages of meditation. O Lama, free me from straying from the path. Though I have not realized the view, I act as if I were crazed. Though distracted in my meditation, I boast about my understanding. Though my actions are at fault, I do not reflect upon my mistakes. O Lama, free me from becoming such a jaded practitioner. Though I may die tomorrow, I'm full of craving for home, clothes, and possession. Though my youth has passed, I lack reversion and renunciation. Though I've heard only a few Dharma teachings, I arrogantly presume that I have qualities. O Lama, free me from such ignorance. Though headed toward disaster, I am preoccupied in distraction, roaming the world. Though I stay in solitary retreats, my basic character remains as hard as wood. Though I speak of morality, I have not abandoned my attachment and aversion. O Lama, free me from the 8 worldly concerns. Quickly rouse me from this deep sleep of ignorance. Quickly free me from this dungeon. Refuge. Visualize the refuge tree in front. So from the primordial Buddha down to a Lama, like that. And you visualize the Buddhas of the past, present, and the future. And the Arhats and the Bodhisattvas, the Yidam deities, the Dakinis, and the Dharmapalas, and all bound protectors, and all like massing clouds vividly appearing in the sky in front of us. They are the nature of omniscience, great compassion, and power of liberation. So in their presence, from this day onward, until we attain Buddhahood, we take refuge in them. So think like that. Kunjo sumge deshe tsawa sum tsalung tile ranjen jancho sum ngo ranjen toje kyo koro lai jancho ningpo bando chapsun che Kunjo sumge deshe tsawa sum tsalung tile ranjen jancho sum Ngo ranjen tunje kyo koron la jancho ningpo badu jam sunche. That's not the melody. Konjo sumge deje zawai sum tsalun tingle ranjen jancho se. Ngo ranjen tunje kyo koron la jancho ningpo badu jam sunche. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual 3 jewels, the 3 root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. Bodhicitta. Nazo nangwa chunde zinre ke korwa logo judo champendo. Rangre se yung suing se che tseme che yang ane semke hendo. Nazo nangwa chunde zinre ke korwa logo judo champendo. Rang re se yung so ngel se che tse me shi yang ane sem kendo. Ho na tso na wa chun de zin re ke. Korwa lugu judo chambe dro. Rang re se yung so ngel se che tse me shi yang ane sem kendo. For some reason that melody is not coming this morning. There's a very peculiar, a typical melody for this one and the refuge. And the other one that we did earlier is the melody of the general recitation or the aspirational prayer melodies. Anyway, when we remember, we'll do that one. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. Oh, the mesmerizing display of mirrored appearances, like a mirage of the moon in water. Beings grasping it as real wander continuously in samsara. To bring them to rest in the space of luminous intrinsic awareness, I generate bodhicitta through the four immeasurables. And here you can do brief Tonglen. When you have time, you should read all of these instructions in here on this ngondro, or in this ngondro. It's a very, very concise and very essential. So the least that you can do is just, as you breathe out, you give. Then as you breathe in, you take. So the way to do that is when you give, it goes out like a smoke coming out from an incense. As you breathe in, like a black soot, it comes through your nostril, and then you dissolve into your heart, into your great bodhicitta, which is emptiness. When you give, you feel that they have received it, they have accepted and they have received it. When you take all the suffering, the misery, the discomfort of sentient beings, and so on and so forth. And then you think, may not even the name of such suffering ever remain in samsara, like that, and you dissolve into great emptiness, like that. Then finally, then you can dissolve the refuge tree. All sentient beings dissolve into the refuge deities all dissolve into the principal or the main one, that's Guru Rinpoche in the center. And then Guru Rinpoche further dissolves into light, and then dissolves tracelessly in basic space, like that, and you remain for a while in that state. Okay. Then instantaneously, like magic, your Lama now appears in the form of Vajrasattva. We say like that, but there's a little bit of sequence before that. Maybe visualize. We are in our ordinary form. Then above the crown of our head, there is this white lotus. On top of the white lotus is the moon disk, that picture here with the lotus and the moon disk and the Hong Sit syllable, like that. And light goes out to the 10 directions, invoking the blessings of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. And then as the light returns and strikes onto this Hong Sit syllable, magically, then Vajrasattva appears, like that, in all the features of Vajrasattva that we have seen in the pictures that we know of, like that. In my ordinary form, above the crown of my head, on a white lotus in the center of a mundus seat, is the syllable Hung, which becomes the Lama Vajra Sattva, brilliantly white with complete Sambhogakaya adornments. Holding Vajra and bell, he embraces his consort Dorje. I take refuge in you and pray that you purify all of my negativities. With deepest regret, I acknowledge and confess them. From now on, even if my life is at stake, I shall vow to refrain from repeating them again. In your heart upon the full moon is the syllable Hung encircled by the mantra. Reciting the mantra invokes your wisdom mind, and from the point of union of Yab and Yum's blissful play, clouds of bodhicitta nectar flows down like drops of camphor. By means of these, for me and all sentient beings of the three realms, may our negative karma and destructive emotions, the causes of suffering, illnesses, harmful influences, negativities, and obscurations, along with falls, downfalls, and defilements due to breakages of samaya, be purified completely until not a single one remains. Om Vajra Sattva Samaya Mano Palaya Vajra Sattva Tena Patirstandinibo Me Bhava Sudokaya Me Bhava Subokaya Anurato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sudha Me Chudam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Om Bhagavat Sarva Tata Gata Benzer Mame Mudza Benzer Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Anisation Mikedi Chigik Sering Om Banjo Sudo Samaya Mano Balaya Banza Kigode Kichunga Sojada Banjo Santo Samaya Mano Balaya Testa Dirdo Me Bava Sudo Kaya Me Bava Subo Kaya Me Bava Anurato Me Bava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sudha Me Chitam Shriyam Kuru Ha 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 Om Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Benza Mame Munza Benza Bhava Maha Samaya Sato Om Banza Sado Samaya Mano Balaya Benza Sado Teno Patishna Dirdo Me Bava Sudo Kaya Me Subho Kaya Me Bhava Anurato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sudha Me Chitam Shriyam Kuru Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Benza Mame Munza Benza Bhava Maha Samaya Sato. When we are doing Vajra Sattva, this is the whole practice of purifying our karma, our obscurations, negativities, diseases. There's so many descriptions there. We try to put all of those like illnesses, harmful influences, what are harmful influences, negativities, obscurations, and falls, downfalls, defilements, and so on and so forth like that. So when you read the guide, you'll understand that. And then in order for the purification to happen, there are 4 powers that we need to bring in our mind. If any of these powers are missing or not taken into consideration, purification doesn't happen. So take seriously into all of those and then focus on the descent of the nectar and so forth like that. So don't miss any step like that. Use each and every second or minute of your meditation and then bring all of those elements as clear as possible like that. Otherwise, then, we get into that habit of just doing it for the sake of doing it, that's all. Then we don't benefit ourselves from doing it. So, okay. Om Banza Sado Samaya Mano Balaya Banza Sado Tino Bhatir Sado Dome Bhava Sudo Kaya Me Bhava Subho Kaya Me Bhava Anurato Me Bhava Sarva Siddhi Me Prayasa Sarva Karma Sutta Me Chitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha 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 Om Bhagavan Sarva Tata Gata Benzer Mame Munza Benzer Bhava Maha Samaya Sato. Page 47. O protector, in my ignorance and delusion, I have gone against and impaired my samayas. Lama protector, be my refuge. Chief of all the mandalas, Vajra holder, embodiment of great compassion, Chief of all beings, in you I take refuge. I confess all broken root and branch samayas of body, speech, and mind. I pray that you cleanse and purify all my accumulated negativities, obscurations, falls, downfalls, and defilements. Page 50. Vajrasattva is pleased and smilingly says, Noble child, all of your negative actions, obscurations, falls, and downfalls are purified. Granting his approval, he melts into light, and by dissolving into me, I become Vajrasattva, appearing yet empty like a reflection in a mirror. At my heart is the syllable Hum, around which the four brilliantly radiant syllables emanate rays of light, whereby the three worlds and the whole universe and the beings within it attain Buddhahood together as the Buddha fields and the Buddhas of the five families of Vajrasattva. Om Vajrasattva Hum, Om Vajrasattva Hum, Om Vajrasattva Hum, Om Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Om Vajrasattva Then we as Vajrasattva dissolve into the seed syllables. And the seed syllable dissolves into the essence syllable. The essence syllable further dissolves its way upward to the pigtail, and the pigtail dissolves tracelessly in space. And you rest in that state for a while like that. Page 53, Mandala offering. Om Ahum. The billion pure realms of the 3,000-fold world system, filled with the 7 precious gems and the wealth of gods and humans, together with my body and possessions, I offer them totally. May I attain the dominion of the universal ruler of Dharma. The Akanishta pure realm, densely arrayed with great bliss, the mandalas of the 5 certainties of the 5 Buddha families, along with inconceivable vast clouds of offering of every variety of sensual pleasures, I offer. May I emanate in the Sambhogakaya Buddha field. The world of appearance and possibilities, perfectly pure, is the youthful waste body, ornamented by unceasing great compassion, the display of dharmata. The perfect and pure realm of indivisible wisdom bodies I offer. May I manifest in the pure realm of Dharmakaya. The earth's surface sprinkled with perfumed water and strewn with flowers, and adorned with Mount Sumeru, the 4 continents, the sun and the moon, is visualized as a Buddha field I offer. May all beings enjoy in the pure realm of perfect purity. Tram Guru Ratna Mandala Puja Mega Samudra Saparana Samaye. You matembe lunch. And the Sabian and the Katan to meet. Page 59. By casting away all attachment to this dearly cherished body, the Devaputra Mara is destroyed. My consciousness ejects into space through the top of my crown and transforms into a tremor, destroying the Mara of the Lord of Death. My right hand holding a hook knife symbolizing vanquishing the Mara of mental afflictions, slices the top of the corpse's skull, destroying the Mara of the aggregates. My left hand holds a skull cup, the aspect of activity, and places it on a hearth of 3 human skulls, representing the 3 kayas. Inside the vessel, the corpse, now an offering filling the 3,004 world systems. The blazing syllable melts the hung nectar, and the offerings are purified, multiplied, and transformed by the power of the 3 syllables. Om Ah, Om, Om Ah. Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah. Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah, Om Ah. Om 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 By my offering to guests above, the sublime unconditioned wisdom of the root and lineage lamas and the yidams are fulfilled. Merit and wisdom are accumulated, and supreme and ordinary siddhis are attained. By my offering to the guests of samsara below, their satisfied and karmic debts are repaid. In particular, the malicious ones and negative forces are satisfied. All illnesses, destructive influences, and obstacles are pacified, dissolving into space. Harmful conditions and clinging to self are destroyed into dust. Finally, offerer, and guests dissolve uncontrived into the original nature of Dzogpa Chambo. Page 65, Guru Yoga. Emaho. Page 65. My own perception is the spontaneously perfect, all-encompassing pure Ram, arrayed perfectly as the glorious copper-colored mountain. In its center, I am Vajrayogini with 1 face and 2 hands, brilliantly red and holding a hook knife and skull cup. My 2 feet are in advancing pose, my 3 eyes gazing into the sky. Above the crown of my head on 100,000 petaled lotus, sun and moon is seat, inseparable from our own root Lama, the embodiment of all sources of refuge, appears the Nirmanakaya Legwan Vajra. His body glows with youth, white with a tinge of red. He wears a gown, monastic shawl, cloak, and robe, with 1 face, 2 hands, and seated in a majestic posture. In his right hand he holds a vajra, in his left a skull cup containing the vase of immortality. And on his head he wears the 5-petaled lotus crown. In the crook of his left elbow he holds the supreme consort of bliss and emptiness, concealed as the 3-pronged Katvanga. He presides amidst a shimmering aura of rays and rings of rainbow light. All around him, enveloped in a beautiful lattice of white, blue, yellow, red, and green light, are the 25 disciples, king and subjects, Panditas and Siddhas of India and Tibet, Rigzins and Yidam deities, Dakinis, Dharmapalas, and protectors, who keep the Samaya all gathered like billowing clouds, vividly and distinctly visualized in the great equanimity of clarity and emptiness. Ho gen yu gen no jan san pen ma ge san dong bo la ya zen cho gen o dro ne pen ma jun ne she su ra ko do kan ro man ben ko ke ge je su da en ru je jing ge lo chen she su se guru pen ma sin de ho Hong Jin Yu Ge No Jan Sam Pen Mai Ge San Tong Po La Ya Zhen Cho Ge Ngo Dru Ne Pen Ma Ju Ne She Su Ra Ko Do Kan Ro Man Be Ko Ke Ge Je Su Da Dru Je Jing Ge Lo Che She Su Se Guru Pema Sindi Hong Hong Wu Gen Yu Gen Nub Jan Sam Pema Geser Dong Bo La Ya Zen Cho Gen Udrub Ne Pema June She Sun Ra Kurdu Kandro Mambe Guru Kege Jesu Da Drub Je Jingen Lo Che Shek Su Se Guru Pema Sindi Hong Hong Wu Gen Yu Gen Nub Jan Sam Pema Geser Dong Bo La Ya Zen Cho Gen Udrub Ne Pema June She Su Ra Kondo Kandro Mambe Goro Kege Jesu Da Drub Je Jingen Lo Che Shek Su Se Guru Pema Sinde Hong. Okay, now the 7 branches, page 71. Free, equal to the number of atoms in the universe, I multiply my body and offer prostrations. Through the power of Samadhi, both real offerings and those mentally emanated, all appearances and possibilities are presented as the gesture offering. All non-virtues of the karma of my body, speech, and mind I confess in the luminous state of Dharmakaya. I rejoice in the accumulation of all virtue contained within the true truths. For the 3 types of beings to be tamed, I request you to turn the wheel of Dharma of the 3 yanas. Until samsara is emptied, I pray that you remain without passing into nirvana. All the roots of virtue accumulated in the 3 times, I dedicate as the cause for attaining Supreme Buddhahood. Page 74. O Guru Rinpoche, precious Lama, you are the glorious embodiment of the compassion and blessings of all the Buddhas, the only protector of all sentient beings. My body, wealth, lungs, heart, and chest I offer to you without hesitation. From now until I attain Buddhahood, in happiness or sorrow, in circumstances good or bad, in situation high or low, great precious Lama, lotus born, think of me. I have no one else to turn to. The beings of these degenerate times are sinking in the swamp of unbearable suffering. Protect us from all of these, O great Guru. Grant us the 4 empowerments, O blessed one. Deepen our realization, O compassionate one. Purify the 2 obscurations, O powerful one. Om Maham Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Maham Om Maham Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Maham Om Maham Om Maham Benza Om Maham Om Maham Om Maham Omahum benza guru bema suni, omahum benza guru bema suni, omahum benza guru bema sende. Page 77, the lineage prayer. Emaho. From within the pure realm, free from falling into limitations and extremes, the primordial Buddha Dharmakaya Kuntu Zangbo. Vajra Sattva, the Sambhogakaya manifesting display like the moon in water, and Garabdoji perfect with the marks of Nirmana Kaya. To you I pray, please grant the blessings and empowerments. Shri Singha, the treasury of the ultimate Dharma, Jambal Shenin, universal monarch of the nine yanas, Janana Sutra and great Pandita Vimala Mitra. To you I pray, please show the path of liberation. Pema Jungne, sole ornament of the world, the supreme wisdom heart disciples, King Trisong Detsen, Consort Yeshisogo, and retinue Verochana and others. Venerable Longchen Pa, who revealed the symbols of an ocean of wisdom mind treasures. Jigme Lingpa, entrusted with the transmission of the space treasury of the Dakinis. To you I pray, please grant liberation and fruition. Though Druptinle was a Jigme Galwain Yugu, Patu Rinpoche, Jamyang Kenze Wangpo, Natso Randall, Kenze Chokil Lode, Kenze Wazer, and the incomparably kind Root Lama. To you I pray, please show the original face of my true nature. With the renunciation being disgusted with cyclic existence, may I meaningfully depend upon my Vajra Lama as though he were my eyes. Following his instructions to letter and taking to heart the profound practice he gives, and applying them with constant diligence, not just now and then, may the blessings of his realized wisdom mind be transformed into my own. All appearances and possibilities, samsara and nirvana, are primordially the Kanishta Puram, which is the result of purifying, ripening, and perfecting of deities, mantras, and dharmakaya. This is Dzogpa Shenpo, free of any action and effort of abandoning and adopting. Rigpa's dynamic and radiance, which is beyond conceptual analysis and dualistic experience. May I see the actual unclad Dharmata. The conceptual characteristics perfectly liberated are the encompassing sphere of rainbows and light. The experiences of Kayas and Tigles supremely blossoming and achieving the full measure of Rigpa's power, the pure realms of Sambhogakaya, and attaining Buddhahood in the great consummate suchness of phenomena beyond concepts. May I accomplish the everlasting dominion of the youthful base body. If I am unable to experience the realization of Ati Yoga, and this physical body is not liberated into the pure expanse, then when the formative constituents of this life fall apart, may the luminosity of death arise as the primordially pure Dharmakaya. May the appearances of the Bardo be liberated into Sambhogakaya, perfecting the power of the path of Trekche and Tegel. May I be liberated like a child returning to its mother's lap. In the great secret luminosity, the summit of the supreme vehicle, Buddha is nowhere sought but in the face of Dharmakaya. If I am not liberated into the manifested primordial ground, then relying on the supreme path of the five teachings on Buddhahood without meditation, may I be born in the five natural pure realms of Nirmanakaya, especially in the palace of Lotus Light Pure Realm, then in the presence of the Lord of Origin, the supreme sovereign of the ocean of Vidyadharas, in the place where there is the joyous celebration of the teaching of the supreme secret mantra. Let me be born as his supreme heir and be liberated. May I become the guardian of limitless ancient beings, through the blessings of the ocean of the victorious Rigzins, through the inconceivable truth of the Dharma Dhatu, through this freedom and endowed human body, training in purifying, ripening, and perfecting, manifest the interdependence and attain Buddhahood. From the letter Om, radiant like a crystal at the Lama's forehead, rays of light stream forth and enter my forehead, purifying negative actions of the body and obscurations of the channel. The blessing of Vajra body is infused. The vase empowerment is received and I become a receptive vessel for the generation stage. The seed of the completely mature Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Nirmanakaya is established within my mind. From the letter R, blazing like a ruby at the Lama's throat, rays of light stream forth and enter my throat, purifying negative actions of the speech and obscurations of the inner wind. The blessing of Vajra speech is infused. The secret empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the practice of mantra recitation. The seed of the Rigzin with power over life is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Sambhogakaya is established within my mind. From the sky-colored letter hung at the Lama's heart, rays of light stream forth and enter my heart, purifying negative actions of the mind and obscurations of the essence. The blessing of Vajra mind is infused. The wisdom empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Sandali practice of bliss and emptiness. The seed of the Mahamudra Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Dharmakaya is established within my mind. Once more from the letter hung at the Lama's heart, a second hung streaks out like a shooting star, merging inseparably with my mind, purifying the karma of the all-ground and conceptual obscurations. The blessing of Vajra wisdom is infused. The ultimate symbolizing word empowerment is received, and I become a receptive vessel for the Dzogpa Chenpa of original purity. The seed of the spontaneously accomplished Rigzin is sown, and the fortune to attain the state of Savabhavika Kaya, the final fruition, is established within my mind. Okay, now you can do the reading and the placement of the settling meditation. So, yeah, 5:24. Okay, before you do that, go to page 106 in the text. Page 106. Daljo dini shinto ni paraka. Kebo dendro tombara jurba la. Kalte delai pembae mandro na. Chine yanda jorba kala jo. With these freedoms and advantages so hard to find, a person can attain enlightenment. If one does not take advantage of them now, how will one so well obtain them in the future? So that is the one you recite for the, and then here, page 116. Semjen Tomje Dongal Judan Juje Nidan Tilte Zobe Sange Ge Gopam Tobaranja Deye Chedu Nge Deljur Nebarakawa Gombaragi. I see that there is Nge missing there. NGE. That one. Okay, I shall meditate on the difficulty of finding the freedoms and advantages, so that all sentient beings can be free from suffering and its cause and attain perfect Buddhahood. Then page 117. Jizen lama mibai mibai tuje chenpo dan denpa namlai cha tsen lo. Gewa gombai rikzen da ye jo ganzai milu kalpa rabjurupe. Dambe jizen dene tarchen ba josum lama namla chansen lo. Page. Read that one. Venerable teachers whose compassion is infinite and unconditional, I prostrate myself before you all. Conqueror of the mind lineage, Vidyadhara of the symbol lineage, most fortunate of ordinary beings, who guided by the enlightened ones have attained the twofold goals. Teacher of the three lineages, I prostrate myself before you. Page 118. In the expanse where all phenomena come to exhaustion, you encounter the wisdom of Dharmakaya. In the clear light of empty space, you saw Sambhogakaya Buddha fields appear. To work for beings' benefit, you appear to them in Nirmanakaya form. Omniscient sovereign of Dharma, I prostrate myself before you. Sorry. Read that in page 18, read that first from the top line. Cheze londo chego gomba ne wese yengso longko shing nang sek. Dulje nangoro truko do denze kunken cheke gembo la cha tso. Kembe sheje kunge dene ze toze yoze dulje pandosha. Samlam tezen temba semzemba rizen jingmen lingba la sel cha sel. Read that again, page 18. Yeah. In your wisdom, you saw the true nature of whatever can be known. The light of your love beamed benefit upon all beings. You elucidated the teachings of the profound path, summit of all vehicles. Rigzen Jingme Lingpa, I prostrate myself before you. Chenre Zewan Shenen Tsuzone Sunge Nangwe Dertse Talamge. Kanla Gandu Zeba Taye Ba Dinchen Zawe Lama La Cha Tso. You were Lord Avalokiteshvara himself in the form of a spiritual friend, Whoever had heard you speak was established in the path of freedom. To fulfill all beings' needs, your activity was infinite. Gracious root teacher, I prostrate myself before you. Now you can do the reading. You read from, if you're reading this one, you read from page 25 onward to 27, I guess. Hmm. 25 all the way to 29. Five circle chance advantages.
So we're just doing the circumstantial advantages today, not the individual ones. Okay, cool.
Yes.
Thank
you. Okay, page 119. Page 119. You have that where we stopped. Gracious teacher, I prostrate myself before you after that one. Page 119. So it's the second paragraph from the bottom, or the second line from bottom. Delwa top chan ning bo che ki wu che goro jo chan che min che be yen da 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 mon be sem chen nam del jo ning bo lem bara jing ye lo. Okay, back to page 119. Although I have won these freedoms, I am poor in Dharma, which is their essence. Although I've entered the Dharma, I am distracted doing other things. Bless me and all those foolish beings like me, that we may attain the very essence of the freedoms and advantages. Okay. Page 114. So once again, bring the posture, sit in a nice, relaxed, comfortable posture. So during sessions, you can expel your stale wind, so you cannot know when you feel drowsy and so forth. You can, you cannot stand, you cannot go out from your cushion. You have to be there. But the thing is that you can kind of reassure your posture, or kind of twist and turn or break your bones or whatever you want to do to just kind of again bring the freshness of your awareness. So don't be like dull and then kind of be drowsy and so forth, and then shrug your shoulders like that, like this, kind of like hands like that. You go like this fast, like that, like that. And then you can also do like. Then after that one, after you do that, then you kind of breathe in once, then breathe out. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in, then breathe out. Like that. And then you can do, okay, Refuge, page 114. Lama la chap su chi wu, sang la chap su chi wu, chen la chap su chi wu, gen den la chap su chi wu. Lama la chap su chi wu, sang la chap su chi wu, chen la chap su chi wu, gen den la chap su chi wu. Lama la chap su chi wu, sang la chap su chi wu. Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu Chiwo, Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu. Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu Chiwo, Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu. Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu Chiwo, Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu Chiwo, Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu. Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu Chiwo, Lama La Josu Chiwo, Sangela Josu Chiwo, Chela Josu Chiwo, Gendela Josu. Lama la jopsa chewon, sangha la jopsa chewon, chen la jopsa chewon, genda la jopsa chewon, lama la jopsa chewon, sangha la jopsa chewon, chen la jopsa chewon, genda la jopsa chewon, lama la jopsa chewon. Chen la jopsa chewon, genda la jopsa chewon, lama la jopsa chewon, sangha la jopsa chewon, chen la jopsa chewon, genda la jopsa chewon, lama la jopsa chewon, sangha la jopsa chewon, chen la jopsa chewon, genda la jopsa. Namale Jose John Sangal Jose John John Jose John Gendale Jose John Namale Jose Sangal Jose John John Jose Gendale Jose Namale Jose Sangal Jose John Jose Gendale Jose Namale Jose Sangal Jose John Jose Gendale Namale Jose Sangal Jose John Jose Gendale Jose Namale Jose Sangal Jose John Jose Gendale Jose Namale Jose Sangal Jose John Jose Gendale Jose Namale Jose Sangal Jose Gendale Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph 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 Namal Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Lam Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph Namal 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 Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Namal Joseph Lam Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph Namal 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 Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph Namal Joseph Sang 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 Joseph Chana Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Namal Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph Lama Joseph 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 Sang Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph 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 Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Chana Joseph Gendal Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph 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 Chana Joseph Lama Joseph Sang Joseph Chana Joseph Gendal 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 Joseph Longchen Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder 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 Joseph Longchen Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Lam Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge of Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose 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 Challenge of the Ginder Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge of the Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge of Long Joseph Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge Lama Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose 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 Challenge of the Ginder Lam Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose Lam Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Longchen Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose 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 Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Lam Jose Sang Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Sang Jose 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 Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen Lam Jose Sang Jose Challenge of the Ginder Joseph Longchen 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 Nam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam 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 Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Nam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam 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 Jasa Nam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam 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 Jasa Sang Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa 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 Lam Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Sang 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 Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa 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 Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal 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 Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Jasa Gendal Jasa 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 Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Chala Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz 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 Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Song Jazz Challenge Lam Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Korea Shijan Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Challenge Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Song Jazz Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Song Lam Jazz Song Jazz Challenge the Gender Jerusalem 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 Jazz Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Sanjata Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Sanjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Sanjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Sanjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata 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 Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata 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 Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata Lamjata 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 Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Lamjata Lamjata Sanjata Chalajata Gandajata 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 Lamjata Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza 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 Challenge. Challenge the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and 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 the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Sanjaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza No. Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Sanjaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Sanjaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Lamajaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza 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 Lamajaza Sanjaza Sanjaza Challenge and the Jaza Lamajaza 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 Sanjaza Challenge and the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner just the lama just the sign just the challenge the inner lama just Lam Janda San Janda Chalan Janda Ganda Janda 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 Lam Janda San Janda Chalan Janda Lam Janda San Janda Chalan Janda Ganda 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 Janda Lam Janda San Janda Chalan Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda San Janda Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda San Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda Janda Lam Janda San Janda Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda San Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda San Janda 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 Challenge Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda San Janda 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 Challenge the Ganda Janda Lam Janda Nam la jan sang du za chan la jing na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la Lam Jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan za chan la jan na jan za lam jan za sang jan Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa San Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge on the Ganda Jasa Lam Jasa Sang Jasa Challenge Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Gendajasa 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 Lamjasa Sanjasa Chalajana Chalajana Gendajasa Lamjasa Sanjasa 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 Chalajana Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Lama Jatsa Sang Challenge in the Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa 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 Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the 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 Jatsa Lama Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the Jatsa Lama Jatsa Sang Jatsa Challenge in the La Jatsa Chu Lama La Jatsa Chu Sangha La Jatsa Chu Chela Jatsa Chu Genden La Jatsa Chu Lama La Jatsa Chu Sangha La Jatsa Chu Chela Jatsa Chu Genden La Jatsa Chu Lama La Jatsa Chu Sangha La Jatsa Chu Chela Jatsa Chu Genden La Jatsa Chu. Page 114. I included the root refuge in here, so you don't have to go to that page. So it's Kunjo sumgen deshe zawan sum salon tere ranjon jancho sim ngo ranjen tuje gyal korla jancho ningbo bando janson je Kunjo sumgen deshe zawan sum salon tere ranjen jancho sim ngo ranjen tuje gyal korla Chanchu Ningpo Bandu Chansun Chi Kunjo Sumye Deshe Zawan Sum Zalun Tigle Ranjin Janchu Sim Muhu Ranjin Tuje Kel Korola Chanchu Ningpo Bandu Chansun Chi. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. In the actual three jewels, the three root sugatas, in bodhicitta, the nature of channel, wind, and essence, and in the mandala of essence, nature, and compassion, I take refuge until attaining the heart of Buddhahood. And then page 115. Gewan de nurdo dai kenjo sumbo drobjorne drowa chekjai malemba de sanlai gembara sho. Through the merit of this practice, may I swiftly accomplish the three jewels and establish every sentient beings without exception on their level. Okay, now page 89. When my life is at its end, my perception, the glorious copper-colored mountain, the pure Ram of Ngayab, indivisible from Nirmana Kaya's pure Ram, and my body Vajra Yogini is transformed into a radiant, brilliant sphere of light. Merging inseparably with Jitsun Pema June, I attain Buddhahood. Then from the display of vast primordial wisdom, the miraculous manifestation of bliss and emptiness, for every single being in the three realms, let me appear as their supreme guide. Jitsun Pema, grant this so, I pray. I pray to you from the bottom of my heart. These are not just empty words. I pray that you grant your blessings from the expanse of your wisdom mind and cause all my aspirations to be fulfilled. Page 92. From the heart center of the Lama, a beam of light, red and warm, suddenly appears, and with myself visualized as Dorjin El Jorma, it touches my heart, and I'm instantaneously transformed into a sphere of red light, which dissolves into Guru Rinpoche's heart, and I become inseparable with him in one day. Glorious, precious root Lama, dwelling on the lotus seat in my heart, care for me with your compassionate great kindness. Grant me the accomplishments of your body, speech, and mind. Toward the life and liberation of the glorious Lama, may wrong views not arise, not even for an instant. And through the devotion of seeing whatever he does as excellent, may the blessings of the Lama infuse my mind. In all of my lifetimes, may I never be separated from the perfect Lama. And experiencing the splendor of Dharma, may I perfect the qualities of the paths and bhumis, and swiftly attain the level of Vajradhara. Once again, bring in your mind, how did your session go? Then any mistakes, you acknowledge and you confess and purify. And then make firm conviction that in your next session or next practice that you'll try to do better. And then any good experiences or good result that we had from our session, we dedicate for the Buddhahood of all sentient beings. Just as the heroic Manjushri realized and summoned the Bhadra too, I will train in their examples and perfectly dedicate all of these virtues. All of the conquerors of the three times, in whichever way they supremely dedicate, I too will perfectly dedicate all my roots of virtue for their excellent conduct. In all of my lifetimes, wherever I am born, may I obtain the 7 qualities of higher realms. Upon taking birth, may I immediately meet the Dharma and have the freedom to practice it perfectly. In that life, may I please the sublime Lama and practice the Dharma day and night. Having realized the Dharma, may I accomplish the ultimate meaning of the essence, and may I cross the ocean of worldly existence in this very life. May I thoroughly teach the sublime Dharma within the world, and never become disheartened or weary of accomplishing the benefit of others. Through working impartially for the benefit of others, may all beings attain Buddhahood together. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi. Om Ahum Benza Guru Pema Siddhi Om Ahu Pensa Guru Pema Siddhi Om. Okay. Another day of great accomplishment. Congratulations to you all. Hey, today we did 1200 of the refuges. So fill your logbook. So today ends the second week of our practice. So
Kimpo, how many recitations did you say today?
we did 1200. Catch up back over the animation.
Lady,
Beg your pardon?
the latest text, Nundro text I have only goes to page 135. And you mentioned page 140, page 150. So I think,
I should have emailed the new copy to you. Did you check your email?
tell me your email address again so I know what to look for, because I have so many emails. And what's your email address so I can search that way?
It would have been from Lundrup Choling.
Lundrup. Oh, okay. Well, okay. And it says text in the subject.
Yes, it was from this morning.
Oh, well, no wonder I didn't see it. Okay, 1 second. I'll find it. Thank you so much, Lindsay.
Sure, just let me know.
But you also gave me your email because you had emailed me something else. And I think I wrote, when you gave it to me, I put it in my contacts, but I put it in incorrectly. What is your email?
Well, I usually send from LCL Inquire.
LCL.
I can write it in the chat. I can write it in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much. But the text came from Linda Trolling.
Yes.
So yeah, because I found one, the one I found, but is of course from Linda Trolling, but it's 135 pages. So this must be an even more recent one. So let me look.
Kempo combined the insert, so it's all together in one.
Oh, that's great. Linda Trolling. Search. 4:16 a.m. Yes?
That's it. Yeah.
Maybe I didn't download it completely because I think that I didn't see the date, but it looks like the same. It shows that it's open. So I think that's what I just downloaded. Because you only said this is the second one, right?
Yes.
So maybe I just suck at downloading. Thank you. Oh, this is 139 pages, it says. Is that right?
Yes, that's it.
Okay, because I thought I heard Kempo say go to page 150.
I don't remember that.
Hey,
Well, if this
page
is it.
115, I must have said, not 150, 115.
Ah, okay, that threw me off, Kempo. Thank you. Very good. Okay,
Okay.
because this is 140, I think. 130, 139. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Okay.
Got it.
Mhm.
And you said copy and then load it, then save it to
Yeah.
books.
It's easier to go through, meaning it's easy to search if it's saved.
So rather than reading list, add bookmark. Oh, I'm going to put it on my home screen, right? Isn't that the easiest of all? In my laptop?
Yeah.
Because I don't have books.
You
Why
can
not?
read. You can read through, if you save on your laptop, you can read either through your Adobe Reader or the preview that Apple has a preview thing, or you can also use iBooks. I think that's the app.
Oh, here's books.
Mhm.
I do the books, but then they send me these books they think I want to read, like they're trying to sell me books, you know? But this works. No, it's in there now. Thank you so much. It's in my books. Perfect. You're such a computer genius, Tempo.
Thank you.
No, amazing.
Mhm.
Amazing.com.
Anybody else?
No,
Rinpoche,
you're like a genius with everything technological as well. It's just, and I'm the reverse. I'm like technotard over here. Thank you.
Yes. What was your question?
so for like visualization, like how do you visualize, like not as a 2D person, but like a 3D, like make it very like vivid, you know, like someone you've never met before, you only see through like a painting. How do you make like Guru Rinpoche and other people in that refuge tree become like the very real and human, like, you know,
Yeah.
not like 2D picture?
Yeah. Just like you see, like statues or like people or llama like that. You see, they're all rainbow body. So just have to keep on doing it. It's just like looking at someone and then you see them appearing in actuality like that. The only difference is that they don't have any substantial reality or material reality. They appear like rainbows, and then just like dream image or like the reflection of the moon in water. These are three different ways. So maybe in the future we'll talk about those three different levels of why we are saying like a rainbow, like a dream, like a moon in the water, or a reflection of the moon in water, like that. They appear but don't have any reality like that. So you don't have to look for the back of Guru Rinpoche. It's wherever you turn, you only see the front of Guru Rinpoche. Or same with all the deities. You never see the back of the deity. That's how it is explained in the Tantra. So not flesh and blood body, or like stone or metal kind of, and just like rainbow or like light body, luminous body.
And do you see them as like you know, like for example, Kandra Yoshitoko, like how do you picture a face, like you know, like as a human being, and not a human being, but like a face like us? Like I couldn't really I don't know like which women I would use as a like an embodiment of her. You know, it's hard. It's hard to. I can see Guru Rinpoche easily, but for you, it's so hard. Like,
she looks Tibetan, and she is she's fair skinned, very beautiful, with like rosy cheeks, and exquisitely beautiful or extremely beautiful, and just the glimpse of seeing her brings your bliss, and like chills, or like I said, you can't cast your eyes off of her. You can when you look at. So, and because she is a wisdom being, she is actually Buddha herself. It's just an emanation that she appears to be a disciple or a consort of Guru Rinpoche, but she is none other than Samanta Bhadri, like that, in order to display this image to sentient beings that she appeared as so many different forms. She is, we say as Dharmakaya, she is Samanta Bhadri. In Sambhogakaya, she is Vajra Varahi. And then in Nirmanakaya, she is Mother Tara or Yeshitsogel or Saraswati, and so on and so forth. So many different manifestations. So you don't see my, maybe someday I'll show you. Kandu Yeshitsogel, then she, you can look for pictures. She has so many different forms. Like sometimes she's in a, like a yogic conduct, just like few clothings, just like scarves and silks. That's all she's wearing, and then just flower headdress with flower crown, like that. And then sometimes she is depicted wearing like the Tibetan chuba, and then with the apron and all the decorations of like jewelries and so forth. And then later on, when you actually do Longchen Nyingthig, the Dakini practice, then she is like unclad, just like unclad, and then wearing all the bone accoutrements and so forth, like that. So many different ways, whichever appeals you, you can visualize. But she is very, very enchanting or beautiful to behold, and it gives you like bliss. It stirs your devotion, and then it just creates that chemical in your body to give rise to devotion toward Guru Rinpoche.
thank you.
I had the same question that you were thinking about, and so I was picturing Kempo tell me, oh, can you hear me?
Yes.
If it's right to think that, I'm in a pure land around me with jewels and all these things, and the refuge tree is actually coming out of the floor where I am, and kind of branching out all the way to the sky. And then I'm visualizing everything. And so I'm in the same space as everyone. But then when I'm trying to look forward at all the deities and everyone, do I see myself reflected back? Or is it that I'm in the room with everyone and there's no there or here?
Yeah, if you can see like that, then it's well and good, yes. If you cannot see that, then better to do just seeing yourself present there in front. Or if you don't have the distinction that you are separate from them, that's even better. That's very, very good, because there are so many different levels of refuge. The ultimate refuge is seeing the inseparability. The Lama and you are never separate. That is the view-oriented. When you see Dharmata never been separate, or the basic nature never separate from one's being, that's the absolute refuge. So then all other refuges are secondary, like thinking that the Buddha is external and to go for refuge, those kind of notions are the ordinary kind of refuge. So yes, that's nothing wrong. You can just visualize that you are in the pure realm, and then from right in front of you, there's this refuge assembly as vast as the sky, filling every reaches of space. Absolutely beautiful. That's very good. You can think like that. Yeah.
Kempo,
Yes.
would it be all right to have? Would it be all right if we can have your permission to read Jigme Lingpa's Namtar?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Is that okay to go ahead and read that? I mean, I know normally you should have long and what have you, but yeah.
That
Brilliant.
apparition of self, that's the one?
Yeah. I think Janet Gyatso's done a translation.
Yeah, sure, yeah. Sure. Yes, please do.
Excellent. Good. Something to read tonight.
I'm munching on this corn. This is my favorite. This corn is my favorite because where I grew, corn is how do you say, corn is my staple food, and it's bountiful. It's it's available.
Sorry, by corn, do you mean sweet corn or?
We eat sweet corn too. Whenever I go back to my country, I like the one that is roasted in the fire. Oh, that's like so delicious. It makes my water run.
Nice bit of lime and chili.
No, just plain, just on the corn on the cob, or the kind of roasted on fire. You can actually smell from way far away when somebody is roasting corn. Yeah, please read the life story of Jigme Lingpa, and then the marvelous garland of rare gems. It's buried somewhere over here. It's a little far from. That one also has all the lineage masters. So when you in a few days, when I get my hands on it, I will have the names of the lamas in the refuge tree, and then also we will come, because the Longchen Nyingthig that I received comes from so many different lineage. One through Chabja Jadu Rinpoche. So Chabja Jadu Rinpoche's lineage is kind of very short. It's like direct Longchen Nyingthig lineage, because from Longchen Pa to Jigme Lingpa there is this wisdom lineage, and then from Jigme Lingpa to Jigme Gyaltsen Nyugu, who is the teacher of Patu Rinpoche. And Patu Rinpoche's teacher is Ngashul Lungtok Tempe Nima that we have in here, Lungtok Tempe Nima. Lungtok Tempe Nima's student is Khenpo Ngakchung. Khenpo Ngakchung's student is Chabja Jadu Rinpoche, the one with the, who lived to be 103 or more, like that, with the big, Jadu Rinpoche, yeah? He's so very close. This lineage is like absolutely, amazingly close, meaning very short, like that. And then I also have the lineage from Khenpo Munsal to Tuku Nyima Gyaltsen, who is actually considered to be the emanation of Khenpo Ngakchung. So that lineage, and then from Khenze Rinpoche, I have that lineage. And then the lineage that comes from Chöpje Dujön Rinpoche. Chöpje Dujön Rinpoche received this lineage from Ngeden, Jurme Ngeden Wangpo, who is Chöpje Dujön Rinpoche, his teacher. There is this lineage of Longchen Nyingthig. And of course, Chöpje Dujön Rinpoche himself has the Dujön Tersar lineage, but also the Dujön, the Longchen Nyingthig lineage is there. And so, like that. So many different lineages. So we can kind of know, we can weave the lamas, we can kind of understand which lamas are there and so forth. So, and then later when you see the picture, and then you can, if you can read their biography, it's very good.
I have one more question here. So I was reading about the Indian version of the stories of Guru Rinpoche, and I think it was Taranada. And then they were talking about, rather than him being a lotus born, that he had marks. He was marks of lotus, birthmarks and different things. What do you think of that?
I have not read that one, but yeah, Guru Rinpoche's manifestations so countless, because Guru Rinpoche's actual emanation from the lotus happened 12 years after Buddha Shakyamuni entered into Mahaparinirvana, Buddha Shakyamuni. You could say in ordinary words, like passing away into Nirvana. So now Guru Rinpoche coming to Tibet is in the 8th century. So you have a difference between you have this duration from because Buddha Shakyamuni passed away sometime like 500 BC. 500 BC. So then you are talking about 8th century. So we'd have some account to do with like 1300 years. 1300 years. Yeah, 1300 years. So 13 centuries in between. Guru Rinpoche emanated, and Guru Rinpoche had so many different emanations and different activities. So it's vast. So, and it could be true, though, so whatever they wrote, it is how Guru Rinpoche appeared to them in that particular way. So,
I read somewhere that they Guru Rinpoche's one of Guru Rinpoche's biography, that like he appears like different according to the level of the disciple. Whatever the vision is all correct. None of them are incorrect. Basically, it's just his ability to display, to manifest.
yeah, there are 8 different manifestations of Guru Rinpoche. Then there are the 12 different names of Guru Rinpoche. And then there are about 100 emanations of Guru Rinpoche. So many different levels of Guru Rinpoche's emanation. We know about the lotus born, and then we have the 8 different emanations, like the wrathful Guru riding on the tigress, and so on and so forth, like that. And we have the Guru Rinpoche emanating in like a Töteng, it's like the skull garden emanation. And all of these emanations appear, but most powerful one is the one that Guru Rinpoche appearing in this when we are doing the Guru Yoga, that he is appearing with this. Inside is the monastic robe. No, sorry, inside is the Bodhisattva. You see the blue collar thing from on top of his robes. And then on top of the blue, then he has like a big cloak on top. And then on top of the big cloak, then you have the Buddha Shakyamunis, like the monks treated the yellow or the saffron or the silk top like that. And then with the lotus crown, and then all the jewelries and the vajra and the skull cup and the longevity, the vase with the wish fulfilling tree adorned on top, and then with the khatvanga, the left elbow, they say crook or whatever, the left bent over here, and then with the lotus crown and with the I'll just say there's this vajra and the vulture feather, and then in his the khatvanga has so many adornments, has a trident on top, but has three different heads. One is the fresh head, the second one is half rotten, the third one is a skeleton, dried skull, like that. And then on that one there are these chain links linked onto that one, and then like tassels and so forth hanging. This is actually the most powerful emanation, the manifestation of Guru Rinpoche is very, very powerful. This emanation is called Guru Rinpoche's emanation in the 5 wisdoms. Kunga Yeshinga is five kayas and 5 wisdoms. This is like the most common emanation of Guru Rinpoche that many masters or lamas have had vision of. So that's like, and if you if you just see that one, then you receive the supreme blessings from Guru Rinpoche. So whichever you feel like, you can visualize Guru Rinpoche, but this is considered to be the most powerful appearance of Guru Rinpoche, because it is endowed with these 5 kayas and 5 wisdoms. Yeah. So that's why we are practicing. He looks like that, sitting on top of a lotus, and not only he's sitting on a lotus, but sometimes he's standing too, in this very manifestation, or in this very aspect, very majestic. And then of course Guru Rinpoche's appearance is so charming, very beautiful and splendorous and noble, very majestic. So you can visualize any, and it appears to be being in so many different ways. One of my lamas, he practiced in a very like a poor condition. When my lamas practiced, they didn't have much facilities. So then, one day he practiced, and then he was a little bit tired, and he fell asleep on a big flat rock. And then in his dream, it was like half vision, half dream kind of thing. And a person came, a person who was wearing like a Tibetan dress. And then from his Tibetan dress, they have, I don't know what they call this, is like pouch inside. And then he, from his pouch, he grabbed like 3 peaches in his hand, and then he woke him up, and then he said, would you like to eat this? And he said, yes. And then later, as he enjoyed the peach, and then he asked, would you like to go visit copper-colored mountain, Pure Land? Then he said, yes. And then he took him to copper-colored mountain, Pure Land. And then he said, okay, you wait at the door. You wait here. I'll go and check if Guru Rinpoche is inside. So then he waited for that person to return to see if Guru Rinpoche was there or not, but he never did. And when he peeped through the door, the person who gave him the peach was sitting on top of the throne in this copper-colored mountain. So like that, and so many different emanations of Guru Rinpoche appear. So that's like one story. So many different people have their versions of seeing Guru Rinpoche. So that was one of the visions that my Lama had. Other visions too he had, and then
which Lama was this?
This is Kunzang Dechen Lingpa. He was a Terten, yeah, Kunzang Dechen Lingpa. My Lama's pictures are up there, so I'm facing the Lamas, you're facing the different way. I can show you. Right, any birthday Nana Ziome? Okay. Good day, everybody. Stay well, take good care, eat well, eat delicious, nutritious.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Rest well.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Read through that insert and then just familiarize yourself, so you know what is inside there. Okay. Bye-bye and Teshadulu.
Bye-bye.
Bye.